let me give you a 5-step plan so that you can finish more of your to-do list when you're low on time. So I'm going to start off by showing you the 16 business habits, and then I'm going to show you how you can do these habits or your habit list when you're low on time. These are the 16 business habit examples. So the first thing that we want to do is we want to build momentum. So what you want to do for this is you want to start off with the easiest task. So what you want to do is start off with the easiest and fastest habit. So that way you can quickly get it done, and then you can use that momentum to do more habits. So you go through your habit list and you pick out, okay, what is the easiest habit here? And I think the easiest and fastest habit here is 10 comments a day in self-improvement groups. So you can literally do that in like 5 minutes or so. So what you want to do is start off with doing that habit and then use that momentum to continue doing the other habits. So a lot of people say do the hardest task first. I don't really agree with that because then you'll be more likely to procrastinate more because you have something hard to do at the beginning. But if you start off with the easiest habit, now it would be a lot easier to keep going because you already have the ball rolling. So now that you have momentum to get started, now what we're going to do is I'm going to show you what you can do when you're low on time. So for example, let's say you have a busy day and let's say you only have 2 hours of free time. So if you have the full day, you can do the full habits. But on days you only have like 2 hours of free time. So what you want to do is start off by doing the habits in order for most important and most urgent. So let me show you what I think for my list is my most important and most urgent habits in order. Now this is the order why I think is most important and most urgent. But I think number 14 might go up a bit. So you can change this over time. So what do you think? So those are my examples. And now for your to-do list, you go through your to-do list and you grab a blank piece of paper and then write the order starting from most important and most urgent and going down the list. So that way you can get the most value out of limited amount of time. So like if you have, let's say 10 habits to do, what is the 3 habits that will give you most of the results? And then if you have extra time after that, you can continue doing the habit list. But make sure you finish the most important and most urgent tasks first. So you start off with the easiest habit, build momentum, and then go most important to most urgent. Now let's go on to step 3. This is how you can do your full habit list even if you're low on time. So let's say from the 2 hours, you can only do 3 habits. So what you want to do if you want to do all of your habits, what you do is you go through your habit list and write down the smallest full unit or do it for 1 minute. So if it's reading, maybe it's reading 2 pages. If it's networking, maybe it's making 1 comment. If it's researching, maybe just research for 1 minute. So that way you can start and do some of all your habits even if you're low on time. So going back to the 10 habit example, if the first 3 habits take 2 hours, what you could do is you could spend just an extra 7 minutes or so doing the other 7 habits for 1 minute each. So you're still making progress on all of your habits, even if it's just a little. Small progress is better than no progress. Now let's optimize this so that you can get more done in your 2 hours of free time, for example. So what you want to do is for your habit list, you want to reduce friction to start. And also in the habits, you also want to make it more impactful on how you spend your time. So for example, let's say you're learning from self-improvement videos. Instead of just writing a bunch of notes, like maybe you write one thing to apply, the main lesson. Or if it's like reading, like before with reading, I used to literally take many pages of notes for each book. Like some books, I literally take like 10 plus pages of notes. That is absolutely way too much because it's confusing and it takes a lot of time. Because think of it like this: the more that you write, the longer it takes. So if you can write less but write more impactful words, then you can save time and it's actually easier to use what you learn since you wouldn't be confused from so many notes. So you go through your habit list and you say, okay, what's the minimum amount of words I can write for each habit? And just write some examples for yourself so you can actually see what's the least that you can write while still fully completing the habit. Because the idea with these habits is that is just trying to improve your life. It's not a college assignment. Number 5 is you want to protect your energy. So think of your energy as like a battery. You only have so much energy in a day before you need to recharge it. So think of it like this. The more energy that you have, the better and faster you can do your habits. So if you're doing networking habits, if you're doing reading habits, if you're doing business habits, the more energy that you have, the better you can do them. But when you're low on energy, you notice you procrastinate a lot more, you do it a lot slower. So the more energy you have, the more you can do every single day. So how do you protect your energy, you may ask? Well, the first thing that you need to do is say no to more things that waste your time and energy. So if it's unhealthy food, say no to it more often and pick the healthier choice. If people want your time for everything, learn to say no more often to protect your time and energy because you only have a limited amount of it. And you also want to learn ways to increase your energy. So this is why I talk a lot about health habits because the better health habits you have, that can potentially also increase your energy. So getting good amount of sleep, getting the right health foods, learning from the right health experts. So have the best physical and mental health that you can to also improve your energy. So protect and improve your energy so you can do your home habits fast and do it well and get a lot done. So those are the 5 steps to finish your to-do list, even if you're low on time. So you started off with doing the easiest habit to start your momentum, and then you ordered it for most important and most urgent. So you do the highest impact habits first. And then for the rest of the habits, you do it each for 1 minute or the smallest full unit, like read 1 page. And then you reduced start friction so you can start faster. And you also figured out the least amount of writing you can do for each habit. And then you found ways to increase your energy so that you can do your habits at home faster. So leave in the comments below your results after trying this 5-step plan.